Since the dawn of time, the innate nature of man means that at some point in his existence, he must fight. Don't get me wrong, man isn't the only creature of this planet that fights. Animals and plants have been engaging in some form of combat for millions of years, long before the first hominid walked upon the earth 300,000 years ago. Animals and plants fight for food, resources, and the right to breed. But man is the only creature that fights simply for the thrill of it. Or how else can you describe the story of Mateusz Ryzak and Dennis Chernyshov, two Europeans who flew thousands of miles to the heart of Africa? Both men traveled to Nigeria to engage in an ancient form of mixed martial arts that has existed for centuries. Dambe is one of Africa's oldest combat sports. It is extremely popular among the Hausa people of northern Nigeria and Niger Republic, one of the largest ethnic groups on the continent. A brutal sport steeped in ancient tradition, it was initially practiced among butchers during harvest or festival time. The fights take place in an arena of sand, with fighters wrapping one entire fist and arm tightly with cord or strips of cotton with which they strike their opponents. In ancient times, fighters would wrap glass into the cord in order to deliver bloody blows. And there are tales of fighters who would spend the night in graveyards with their fists buried into graves in order to imbue them with supernatural ability. But all these practices have been abolished in modern times. But it still helps to have a little African insurance. Today, Dambe has been modernized and repackaged as a combat sports spectacle like boxing, judo and taekwondo, and even the UFC. It is fast gaining a global audience, with millions tuning in online and via cable from across the globe. And that is how Mateusz and Dennis came to know of Dambe, and that is why they came to fight. Mateusz Ryzak is an MMA fighter from Poland with a background in judo. He prefers to be known by his nickname, the White Mamba. According to him, just a few months ago, he had never even heard of Dambe. But he believes that it was God who brought him and his colleague, Dennis Chernyshov, to Nigeria. Dennis is a kickboxer and sambo fighter from Russia. And for both men, competing in a Dambe tournament for the first time right here in the heart of Africa was an invitation they simply couldn't turn down. And it was clear from the customary pre-fight press conference, ceremonial weigh-in and face-off that even though they were having fun, Mateusz and Dennis were taking their fights very seriously.
I cannot say it in words, because Nigerian people are so full of love, they are so full of faith, they are so full of generosity, dignity, that I could speak about it whole day long. This is so amazing. He says exactly the same, that the people in Nigeria are so patient, so full of love, that he wish only the best. He wish peace and love to Nigeria. This is it, because we feel like a kings right here, just because of your hospitality.
21 год попал в аварию, краш, и потом после восстановления стал заниматься боксом. Последние 10 лет я занимаюсь боксом.
Po wypadku, nie? Po wypadku na motorze.
Да.
It was like, then he started from sambo, from kickboxing, from boxing, and then he started, and then he had a motorbike accident. he had injured his hip, and he's been forced to train only boxing. And since then, he's focused only on boxing. But he used to fight in bare knuckle boxing as well, not only normal, but without anything on their hands. So it is quite funny because I was doing my training session. David called me from New Jersey, and he asked me, Mateusz, do you know what Dambe fighting is? I said no. Do you want to fight there? I said yes. And then he showed me the videos of Dambe fighters, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Because I never say no to fight. And I think Dennis is the same.
Ty nigdy nie powiesz nie do walki, nie? Jak ja bym cię zapytał, idziemy walczyć?
Сейчас скажи мне, чтобы я все понял, пожалуйста.
Da. Nigdy nie powiesz nie na walkę.
Говорю, да, конечно. All life. All life it's
His
fight.
reaction is everything.
What's life? All life it's fight. Сейчас переведи, пожалуйста, сейчас скажу.
Да. Dennis said that whole life of human being is walka. It's fight. And not only in the ring, but only outside of it. And this is his philosophy.
All life it's
This
fight.
is our philosophy. We are warriors. We are warriors. We are on a mission. We are on a mission of fighting. The wildness, it's like you watch it and you think that there is no control over it, that they are fighting like they don't know what to do. But then you watch them more carefully and you see that they know what they are doing. But the way they does it, it's a little bit different, and there's some secrets behind it. And I was honored with my coach Awilio right here on this spot. So that was the first time when he gave me some secrets of them, and then the rest is in the village. The history is in the village. Yeah, I'm not joking when I'm saying that God brought me here, because I didn't feel good in Europe, nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Not in UK, not in Germany, of course not in Poland, not in my home country, and I feel like home here.
It was clear that both men were excited about competing in Africa and in a different martial art. But did they believe that Dambe could one day become a global sport like boxing, MMA and Taekwondo?
Definitely, it is possible, like everything, because nothing is impossible. But from the perspective of like building it up and getting into Europeans and Eastern minds, it can be maybe not difficult, but we have to adjust how we can approach those people and how to connect it. Of course, I think that such events like this one, so we are fighting as fighters from different background than Dambe, and we are competing against the Dambe fighters. This is the first step. I think this is the first step. So next step, I don't know what is going to be. I know Dambe executives, they know exactly what they want to do because they are professionals.
Dennis didn't understand English or Polish, so he relied on Google Translate.
Yes, I think it got chance to be popular all over the world. My personal opinion about that is that's a good one. You don't have to, we are the first one, like the Dambe is the first one, so you don't have to copy nobody because you are the product that
Original.
has no competition at all.
Yes.
Yes, Dambe has no competition in this planet. That's true. That's a very good point of view, brother. Wait. He's speaking some deep. Oh man. Oh. He said you need to clear your ancestors. Like clear the way, something like that. That's deep. That's deep. Oh, and then you have to go to your roots and do everything exactly with your heart. Oh, this is good. He made me goosebumps right now.
With just 24 hours before the first punch was thrown, I had to ask them if they were nervous.
No, I'm not stressed. I'm excited. I cannot wait to do it. I feel happy. I am enjoying myself, just like you told me to do.
Для меня Единоборство это как шахматная партия.
Oh. For Dennis, there is no reason to be afraid in sport because this is a game that we play, and for him it's like a chess match. So he's more thinking about his tools, how he's going to approach his opponent, and he's focused on himself during this process. So he considers it more like a chess game than a fight.
What do you think of your opponents when you saw them yesterday?
Young and reliant. He's stressed. 100% he's stressed. But that doesn't mean that I am going to underestimate him because stress is a powerful thing if you use it in a correct way. So I know he's stressed because he should be. It's obvious. I'm older, I'm more experienced, even though it's Dambe fight, but I'm warrior, so, and I felt the spirit in the village, so he knows that I feel his vibe. So he's stressed much more than I am, but that can give him a lot of power, so I am going to be very cautious.
Okay, but
He's very dangerous.
I hope you know that it's going to be a big honor for them.
Yes.
For both of them to knock out
Yes.
a European,
Yes.
white guy in front
Yes.
of everybody.
Yes.
That puts pressure on them.
Yes.
Does that put pressure on you to perform as well?
Yes. No. Because I got my pressure, he got his own pressure. So I don't care about his pressure, his motivation. I know it's big, but mine is bigger always. Right now I must win, and there's no other way. I just must win. It's okay. We have to teach him English because he speaks very well. I want to say that any person who competes in the ring deserves great respect. I treat all my rivals with great friendship, but in the ring, as they say, there are no friends. There will only be one winner, so the fight will show everything. I don't like loud statements. Look, you will see for yourself, you will only see. This is what he said.
Fight day. The velodrome at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja was packed. Young, old, men, women, and even children. They all came from far and wide to witness what promised to be an enthralling spectacle.
If you've never watched a Dambe fight before, trust me, you're missing out on a fantastic spectacle. It is a traditional combat sport that has existed amongst the Hausa people for thousands of years. And from its rural, rustic settings, it has moved to a more modernistic venue. This is the velodrome at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And this is where Dambe has found a new home, where people from all walks of life want to come and watch what is reminiscent of the gladiatorial combats of old that you found in Rome. And this is where you will find the best of African traditional sports. This is what it's all about. This is Dambe.
The bouts were fierce. Strong young men pounded and punched each other mercilessly to the roar of the fans. This was what they had come to see, and they were getting their money's worth. Just outside the arena, Mateusz and Dennis were preparing for their fights. There was no turning back. They were inside the lion's den and they were condemned to fight. Dambe was nothing like they'd ever experienced before, and so they calmly prepared themselves as best as they could, shutting out the raucous noise from the fans. But while they waited for their turn, The arena was buzzing. From the sonorous chants of the Hausa griot, accompanied by the vibrant drumming, to the explosive action in the arena, the velodrome was a mighty cauldron of sound and violence. And soon it was time. Dennis, the Russian boxer and kickboxer, was the first to take to the sand. His opponent was a fearsome fighter known to all as Dogo Shegyarmota. The meaning of that name cannot be said on screen. Both men went at it hammer and tongs, but it was clear that both men were well matched and no quarter was given. But after the intense action that consisted of 3 5-minute rounds, the fight was scored a draw by the judges. And so, both men would fight one more round to determine the ultimate winner.
Time. So the judges have decided one more round, 1 more minute to determine the winner in this category.
In the end, it was the fearsome Dogo Shegyarmota, the Dambe warrior from Nigeria, who had been training for his entire life, who edged the fight via split decision. It was a close fight that could have gone either way, and Dennis was unsurprisingly disappointed. And then it was time for the White Mamba. Mateusz came out to a shockwave of drums and noise, swaying awkwardly as he tried to synchronize his dance steps to the pounding of the drums. His opponent was another talented and experienced fighter who went by the sobriquet Danielo. The fight was a proper contest. Mateusz's background in mixed martial arts was evident, and it was no surprise when he was declared winner by unanimous decision.
Here's your winner. Let's make some noise for White Mamba.
Dennis Chernyshov was nowhere to be found afterwards, but an exhausted and elated Mateusz spoke afterwards about his first ever Dambe fight.
I think the biggest winner of tonight is this young man who fought me, because he gave me a school. I had to learn. In the first round, I had to learn from him. How good was he, because I couldn't see his punches. So I had to think about, change the tactics, start to push him into different spaces, so I could then start feeling him. But even though I did so much, it was still hard. So, wow. I knew it is going to be tough. I knew it because I saw that you can punch, that this is not a joke, this is not some kind of wild, this is martial art, true martial art, and this gentleman here is a true master of it. That's facts. So it's a different game. It's not a surprise that the fighters before couldn't adjust, because before the fight he looked like a scared kid, and when he stomped, I was looking like how he fights against his shit, and he was like closer to the fight, he was even more pumped, and I was so, okay, this is real deal, no jokes.
How did you think of the atmosphere and the fans?
I think you're making some mistakes, because these people here, they are from the villages. So let's not the officials go and do this parade food. The normal people doesn't understand that. They want to see Dambe, they want to see drums, they want to see fighters coming to the stage. So it will be a different vibe if we are going to do it like they do it in the village, the true Dambe champions. Because the kids there, these kids, they are right here. One of them, this is Kung Fu master, but Umar, they teach me Dambe because they showed me the moves. I had to be gentle. This is such a different world.
Will you be back for another?
Of course, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. I am staying. I am staying in Nigeria because I love you so much, people. Because we are going to do many great things among with Africa top team. So, I cannot wait when we start the war. I just cannot.
White Mamba!
When it boils down to it, every human being has a choice: fight or flight. For those who choose to fight, they will fight for any reason and in any arena. They will even travel thousands of miles to face fellow warriors in a combat style completely alien to them. Because in every fighting sport, from boxing to judo to Dambe, the aim is simple. Winning is all that counts. But win or lose, when you get a taste of fighting, you always want more. And that is why you can be sure that Dennis Chernyshov and Mateusz, the White Mamba Ryzak, will be back for more Dambe fights. Because it is what they do best. It's in their blood. And it's what makes them human.
White Mamba! White Mamba! White Mamba!